What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is January 8th of 2018. Well, folks, it's time for a daily update here on the DataDash channel, and today we've got a lot to talk about, seeing as the market has been crazy over these past 24 hours. But before we dive into that, I have two quick things to share with you all. First and foremost, I want to apologize for the lack of content with all this craziness. I usually would cover everything as I usually do. However, we had a water pipe burst here at our house. Because of that, we got some water damage on some of the roofing on different layers of our, or different levels of our house. And along with that as well, I had to move my equipment and unplug it. So I've been away from the computer, and that's probably why you can tell the camera angle is a little bit different. So I do want to apologize for that. But second, I also want to bring some positive news to the video, and that is that we have linked down below all of the Telegram groups for the places I'll be visiting on my trip over the next coming month and a half. So please, if you don't already, please download the Telegram app. Make sure you have that, and then go down to the description and find an area that I'm going to be visiting. If you live in those areas, please join the group and stay up to date with the events that we're setting up for each area that I'm going to be visiting. I'm really excited to come see you guys. We've already got a great community in there, so it's a lot of people that live in the same area as you possibly, that you can mingle with, talk to, and get to know one another better. All right? So again, check out the description if you guys can, so I can come visit you all and see you hopefully on my travels. All right, so on to the portion that you all really want to hear me talk about today. That is the explanation for all the craziness in the market. So as we can see here, if we take a look here on CoinMarketCap, even with the drop in valuation, we do have some players that are in the green today. We've got Neblio doing quite well, Stratus, and a few other players who are on the up and up. And I'm not, saying all coins are down here. However, we have noticed more than anything a drop in market cap over the past few hours. And we see this in a lot of big market leaders. These aren't just multi-million-dollar coins. These are multi-billion-dollar coins. For example, Qtum, Ripple, EOS, Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, Ethereum Classic, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Monero, a lot of cryptocurrencies in double-digit red numbers. And because of this, this caused a lot of panic in the market. This was a lot of people asking whether or not, are we entering bear market? Is this the ultimate correction? Well, not really. As much as it is good to see these valuations coming down to more reasonable levels, most of this is caused by a decision, or most of this has been caused by a decision that CoinMarketCap recently took. And this is something I'm going to kind of rant on here in just a minute, but they basically removed a variety of exchanges where Korea was trading these cryptocurrencies. So for example, if we take a look here at BitThumb, which is the largest South Korean exchange, they removed the price data and the average for the price on CoinMarketCap from Korean exchanges. So for example, on Ripple, that's trading at 383 right now, the average exchange rate for Ripple is 255. So when they took, originally it was much higher, but when they took out the Korean value or the exchange price from Korea data, the average dropped down dramatically, and it looked like there was a flash sale. It looked like people were just dumping their cryptocurrency. And this happened on a lot of currencies. All of the ones we have here, Qtum, Ripple, EOS, Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, Ethereum Classic, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, etc., because those are the ones that are traded here on BitThumb. And it led towards people thinking that whales were dumping, that the market is panic selling, and really CoinMarketCap, who should have made an announcement, and this is where I'm going to rant on for a second, who should have made an announcement 3 or 4 days before they did this, decided to make a tweet a few hours ago saying that this morning they had excluded some Korean exchanges for price calculations due to the extreme divergence in price. And though I don't think their decision is bad, Korean exchanges have traded at quite a premium comparative to traditional exchanges, and where it can be a little bit misleading as to where your holdings are if you're trading on Bittrex or Binance or any other different types of exchange like Bitfinex or Poloniex. This is highly unprofessional. And I know that everyone can sit here and rant about it. I'm not saying CoinMarketCap is a terrible website. They've done a fantastic job of getting all the APIs from different exchanges and for different cryptos and making it in a very simple, clean layout. Love CoinMarketCap. I use it in all my videos. However, again, I'm going to rant and rave just like everyone else who is in this community. I'm not going to say it was done deliberately. I know some people have been saying that. But I will say that this was definitely not professional. They could have done a much better job at handling this, and they could have given us fair notice ahead of time, knowing that a lot of people use CoinMarketCap.com for this pricing. So Again, this caused a little bit of panic selling in the markets. We can take a look here at the overall market cap. And once that initial drop came in, really on big players like Ripple and EOS and Qtum, a lot of the ones we were looking at earlier, as well as Dash, because of that, it led towards a panic selling in the market, even though there was no change in volume, as you can see down here. But everyone, of course, is fixated on price and valuation. And that's the standard thing you want to look for when you're looking at these charts. So there's no reason to blame the markets. If anything, this was a really unprofessional move by CoinMarketCap. And it makes us think, and as a reminder to all the big companies out there in the space, that you need to be very specific with what you say and what you do, okay? Very important. And I try to do that as much as I can. I try to be very, very crystal clear on what I say here on the channel. Try to keep it as neutral and level-headed as I can and make things as clear as possible. So a lot of people have been asking me, well, Nick, now with this correction and stuff, is this going to be an opportunity now that things have pulled back for cryptocurrencies to move higher? Can altcoins gain more room to the upside? What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin sold off pretty dramatically. Are we expecting Bitcoin to go up? Well, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on some players in the market. However, I do want to bounce back over here and take a look at what the general market's showing right now. As we can see, altcoins did take a dive, delisting the Korean valuations, not to mention the panic that came with it. However, we've seen a little bit of a rebound here, and we're holding generally a little bit under the $500 billion range. So altcoins are still holding strong, really pretty much where they were back on January 6th, and so nothing to really fear there. However, I want to focus on the dominance chart, as I've been talking about for a long time in regards to cryptocurrencies. So let's bring it down here to the yearly here. We can see that other coins, the number we've been telling people to watch for a long time, is approaching 25%. This has been our target. So we are very close towards getting to 25% for other coins, meaning any coin excluding the top 10 coins, so Bitcoin and the other top 9. So we've been seeing other coins as there's more competition and more coins and more valuation getting flushed out to altcoins. This number is getting higher towards 25%. And that's been our target for a while. So we're getting very close to there, guys. This is something we want to keep in mind. Now, we haven't reached 25%, and some people might say that 1% could lead towards a lot of upside opportunity in some players in the market. And that may be true. However, Bitcoin is not losing much dominance here. It's holding quite well over the past few days. And it has been holding well ever since the 4th, because we've now broken below these previous lows on the Bitcoin dominance back in June. So the question is here, is Bitcoin going to lose more dominance? Is Bitcoin going to see more downside and altcoins find a way to gain more strength in this market and move even higher than they already have? My bet is they're not. And I've been saying this for the past few days. You can go back through the videos and stuff, and we've been really talking about this in regards to how altcoins might have a little bit more steam to go. They could move towards that 25% target we've been talking about. Wouldn't doubt it for a second. Heck, it might even move to 26 or 27% dominance in the market comparative to where it is now. And that can mean some serious upside. However, it's not going to be anything close to what we've already seen in altcoins, in my opinion. And because of that, I think you're playing very risky if you're trying to buy a lot of the altcoins in the market. And I can tell you how I know this. It's because when I went around into the market the other day, when I started locking a lot of my I secured a lot of my positions in altcoins, as I shared with you on the last video. And when I was going through and looking at Binance, I just kept looking down the list of coins. And I'm like, is there something cheap in this market? Because it seems everything's going up. So I just kept on going down, trying to find something. And I couldn't find a coin that wasn't up 3 or 4 times its valuation. Not to mention, I found a variety of cryptocurrencies that were up 10, 20, or even 50 times compared to Bitcoin over the past month or month and a half. That is insane, folks. That's huge, huge gains for altcoins over these past few weeks. It has been an absolute run-up for altcoins. And as much as it's easy to get caught in the exuberance, it's very easy to get caught up in the excitement behind altcoins and all these competing currencies. And I think they're going to continue to grow over time. I think that number will go to 50%, the other coins, over a prolonged period of time, somewhere into late 2018 or 2019. But we've had a very nice run-up, guys. Over these past few months, other coins have doubled their holding on the market, more than doubled. And I think it's time for Bitcoin to have a little bit of resilience, a little bit to the upside, to take back some of that liquidity and valuation from the market. Because there's a lot of crappy projects out there that are getting really highly valued, guys. So again, keep in mind, this rally has been extremely giving, guys. We've had a fantastic rally in altcoins. but I think it's time for Bitcoin to start remaining back into its position of king, being the OG of cryptocurrencies. And I think because of that, you're not going to see altcoin valuations per se drop. You're going to see Bitcoin comparatives drop. And again, I don't need to list some of the crazy ones to you guys. Tron, BTC, or TRX BTC, just a massive, massive run up over the past few weeks, guys. This has just been absolutely insane, going from 17 Satoshis to 1,069 Satoshis, not to mention its peak going all the way to 2,000 Satoshis. Ripple, for example, finally seeing a little bit of downside, but guys, I mean, this has just been an absolute crazy run up. Verge, for example, as well, as we'll take a look at later. Just remarkably huge upside in the market. So again, we really want to focus here and talk about Bitcoin, because as much as there might be some altcoins in this market that will provide opportunities, and we'll take a look at that as we go throughout the video, I really want to focus on Bitcoin here, because the main thing we're going to be looking for here in regards to trend is seeing whether or not Bitcoin will hold here at the 50-day again. We've already held generally at 2 time periods here right at the beginning of the new year and back here during kind of mid-December. And because of that, we're really waiting to see if Bitcoin after this sell-off is going to hold back down on this 50-day. And if it doesn't, if it breaks through it, we might be experiencing not only a correction in altcoins, but also Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to happen. It could very well happen, though. We always want to keep our minds open to it. And again, we don't take sides in this market. We use indicators to determine whether or not we take one side or the other. Right now, Bitcoin is holding optimistically. It's holding above the 50-day, and that's our main indicator. It has been the indicator for the past few weeks. Now, if Bitcoin cannot hold here, if we have another red day, another 8 to 10% down day, and we close below this 50-day, that's going to mean bearish signs for the entire market. That is going to mean pretty dramatic altcoin sell-offs, because everyone's going to be dishing out towards Bitcoin, most likely. And then along with that as well, if they feel they need to just completely get out of crypto, they're going to sell off their Bitcoin. So Bitcoin value will go down as well if that's the case. But if Bitcoin holds here on the 50-day, that's going to signal that whales and very large investors are seeing confidence in Bitcoin. They're hoping to start probably accumulating large positions. And then you're probably going to see Bitcoin's price come back up and retest 20,000 as we've been talking about. I think that's the most likely scenario here, because I think we still need to get towards our $1 trillion market cap in order to see any kind of resistance in the market. I think we still have a ways to go. So again, I'm looking generally for Bitcoin to hopefully pull back down, hold support on the 50-day, and come back up to the upside. Excuse my very crude drawing here with my drawing tool, but again, you get the general gist of it. We could very well break down below, but the 50-day is what we want to watch for here. So keep an open mind to it. Could very well happen. All right, so let's go ahead here and take a look here at Ethereum. Ethereum continuing to break higher. This is not something that I had expected for Ethereum, but the one thing that I really want people to keep an eye on is whether or not it's going to hold here at the level that it held for quite some time, which was serving as resistance for a few days, which is 7 million Satoshis. Hopefully Ethereum will come down, it will hold here, and if it does, this could mean more upside for Ethereum, even though it has had quite a ridiculous run up. Then again, all other altcoins have. But Ethereum is doing quite well. I'm not making any trades on it right now. It's just too high for me to buy it right now. I would like to see some downside or at least stable price support at that 7 million Satoshi range. Again, I keep consistent with my price levels. That's what I'm looking for here. All right, XRP, BTC, Ripple, as we were just talking about, went through a ridiculous run up over these past few weeks. A lot of people would ask me would I still trade it here. Again, no, guys, it's way too high for me. This is not the time to buy things. The time to buy things was when it was on the downside. And I'll be fair, I wasn't exactly optimistic on Ripple. I just don't really like trading it that much. But you want to buy it when no one's interested in it. And that should be a sign to you that I'm buying something at a discount. It's had a sell-off for the past few months, and hopefully there'll be some upside. Now, no one probably could have predicted this. No one could have. I never said it. I'm going to say it right there. I had no idea that Ripple would do this, nor did I think most people did. But again, we know that history tends to repeat itself. And when something has gone up this much, we aren't exuberant to get into it. Again, you've got to assess it for yourself. I'm not going to sit here and just rail on Ripple. You guys know my opinion on it. But again, this is definitely a candidate that probably needs to pull back. That's just my opinion, though. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin Cash here. Bitcoin Cash here on the daily is holding quite nicely. I'm thinking we're probably going to start seeing this curve up. I'm considering a swing trade on it. Again, as I talked about in my last daily update, this is starting to look good if I actually get it. Again, I always seem to make this mistake. If we get this on Bitfinex, we can see that this is holding a previous support level back here. It bounced off the 100-day and the 50-day. And now it's looking like it might curve up and try to retest around 25 million Satoshis. So this could be one of the altcoin positions in the market that might do well. I'm going to keep my eye on it, not to mention the fact that it gets a good amount of trading volume comparative to a lot of other cryptos. So this could be a nice stable play going over the next few weeks. And last but not least, let's take a look at ADA BTC. Cardano's holding in there good, but to be honest, this is looking like it's probably going to topple over. Again, this needs to cool down, guys. We're not just going to get one sell-off day and then it's just going to ride back up, at least in my opinion. I think altcoins are quite overvalued right now, and a lot of the liquidity that's been put into the large players in the space are probably going to be dished out to meet that 25 or 26% figure in other coins that we've been talking about on the channel. Okay, that's what we're seeing trend in the market. When you go over to CoinMarketCap, you see what's on the upside over the past 24 hours. You've got Stratus, but outside of that, you really got smaller players in the market, the multi-million-dollar cryptocurrencies, and you got a few billion-dollar players here and there. So, again, those are the players that are getting a lot of the extra liquidity in the market. All right, so we've dived into some of the market leaders. Again, if you're looking for potential opportunities, I'm keeping my eye on Bitcoin Cash. That's pretty much all I'm looking at in the market right now. Other than that, though, I'm really just holding Bitcoin. That's my main kind of like recent switch. Of course, I have my long-term altcoin positions as well. You all know that, but I also have been looking to move a lot of my swing trade positions over to Bitcoin. I've been doing too much altcoin trading over the past few days because I'm wary of the market. So I do want to spend some time, though, to step away from the price action and spend some time talking about the things that really matter here. Again, it's great to trade these markets and increase our Bitcoin portfolios and hold these awesome projects that we believe in. But at the same time, price is one thing, and I think we spend too much time talking about it here. And I want to spend some time to talk about a few things that are really getting me excited. There is a really good article that Darren Pollock over at Cointelegraph put out that talked about Bitcoin and blockchain over in Africa and how there's a revolution going on, and how more and more people are talking about it. So this has got me really excited and stuff, and they have a lot of great documentation here about people who are checking their portfolios 24/7 and really getting interested in this whole kind of blockchain revolution. Not to mention, there's a lot of new startups and new companies that are being built outside in African nation states, which is really, really interesting. I do want to say that this is, again, something that Vitalik Buterin brought up, and I think it's very important to see someone in the a figure in the space talking about this, and that is that this is what blockchain and cryptocurrencies were meant for, and that is uplifting people who have been unbanked for a long time. It's banking the unbanked, but not with the traditional system that gave up on over 2 billion people over the past few decades, but giving these people the technology to uplift themselves and to build their own finance system, because there are so many people in this world who have been discarded from the traditional finance system, and that's what Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies, in my mind, at least the ones that are finance-based, are all about. Not to mention the other countless lists of technologies that can be built on top of blockchain and other decentralized methods that help uplift and build not only a source of income, but a source of well-being and happiness for a lot of other people from a variety of different industries. So it's really exciting times, guys, and I think the technology is what really matters here. So it's good to see it there. Not to mention as well, I want to talk about continued adoption in Japan. Ironically enough, Darren Pollock wrote this as well. But I'm glad to see they're writing some positive articles here on Cointelegram. And there has been a lot of hype here in Japan over the past few months. Now, we all know that with the Korean ICO and Bitcoin ban that they recently had, not to mention the recent regulations that are getting set down in Korean markets, Japan has been nothing but a safe haven for cryptocurrencies, not only on a consumer level, but also on an investment level. So there's been a lot of new Japanese exchanges opening up over the past few weeks. But along with that as well, a lot of retailers are starting to take Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as a means of payment. So it's good to see out of most countries, like the US, for example, as well as China and a lot of other countries that are really kind of demonizing and regulating cryptocurrency markets, that Japan is serving as a safe haven for crypto and crypto adoption and innovation and testing, and really seeing how it can integrate into daily life. So again, keep an eye on Japan here, guys. I think Japan is going to become a bigger player in the space. We already have a few Japan exchanges taking up a good chunk of the volume. We just don't hear much coverage of it. It's more focused on Korea and the moves that Korea can leave on price action. However, there's a lot of traders in Japan because a lot of people had to leave from China and a lot of them had to leave from other places where the regulations are starting to kick in. But that innovation will never die, and it flows to somewhere else like Japan who's willing to embrace it. Not to mention, it's very good this is happening in a country that's been having its own traditional finance problems. They're very innovative, a very well put together country. Japan's culture is, superb to a lot of other places. They have a wonderful nation state. However, the one thing about Japan is their banking system. Much like, well, I think most banking systems are terrible, to be honest with you. But Japan's system is in definitely a bad position generally because they have a very big deflationary problem. And because of that, interest rates are practically net zero. And they just can't seem to get, in that sense, their currency working in a stable way. I think their government owns like a massive amount of the ETFs or exchange traded funds, basically these huge big investment funds of a mix of different stocks and assets and stuff in the Japanese economy. And because of that, because the central bank owns so much, it is definitely a worrying sign that they need some innovation in the space. They need a new revolution of finance, and Bitcoin could bring that to Japan as well as all other cryptocurrencies that are coming out into existence. So we'll have to see if they continue adopting it. I hope Japan continues to take the positive tone that it has over the past few months, and I hope to see continued prosperity in cryptocurrency adoption. All right, everyone, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope I did a decent job talking about the whole market of things. There's really no reason to panic here, and a too long did not read format. Markets right now are still in a positive tone. I think we're still going to the upside, but I think a lot of it's coming more towards the secure positions, into Bitcoin, into undervalued altcoins, not the people or the cryptocurrencies that have gone up 10 to 20 or 50 times their original valuation comparative to Bitcoin. Do not trade ones that are at all-time highs. Trade the undervalued opportunities, as well as Bitcoin, which has gone at quite a nice discount. So that's my main kind of philosophy for the market. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you all have been staying safe and trading smart during this crazy market. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.